Primary elections continue with 4 states holding theirs today: Nevada, North Dakota, Maine, and South Carolina. Many looking at these races as another test for Trump-backed candidates.
Yeah, by the way, the former president's birthday today. Might
Indeed.
point that out. Yeah, here on Flag Day. Joining us now to discuss, advisor to both Presidents Clinton and Trump, Newsmax analyst Dick Morris. Dick, what's your assessment of what to expect today?
Well, I think that in the primaries that we're going to see 2 more of the people who voted against Trump, voted for impeachment, are coming up for re-election in South Carolina. I think that Rice is probably going to lose. I'm not sure about Nancy Mace, the other candidate. I think that in Nevada, we have a superb chance to win that Senate seat. And I think Laxalt will win the primary, which is a good thing. I'm particularly focused on the Rio Grande Valley, where it's very possible that we'll actually pick up a seat, only for a few months because there'll be an election, but they'll have to run for re-election. But just winning a Republican seat in the Rio Grande Valley is symptomatic of how the Hispanic vote has flipped completely. Of every ethnic group in the United States, the one that is most strongly opposed to Biden are Latinos.
Really? Interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Dick, how do you think those Trump-backed candidates are going to perform overall, and how much do you think that will continue? We've already seen his track record being pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's superb. I mean, there are a few misses like Kemp in Georgia, but for the most part, his endorsement has been absolutely fundamental in bringing candidates way back from the dead. In Arizona, for example, it's been pivotal, and I think that it'll continue to be. But, you know, I was hoping you'd ask me about this so-called bipartisan gun control deal.
Hey, Dick, how about this so-called bipartisan gun control deal?
Yeah, they're going to raise that. This is a total fraud. We'll talk about the merits of the bill in a second, but the idea that 10 Republicans have joined with the Democrats for a filibuster-proof majority, well, it is filibuster-proof, but of those 10 Republican congressmen, senators, 5 are not going to run again. 5 are lame ducks. So they gathered every lame duck who wouldn't have to face the voter and got them to sign on to this bill. Yeah. Tillis, North Carolina, Blunt in Missouri, Toomey in Pennsylvania, Burr in North Carolina, and
we had a graphic of the 10, and I think the point you're making is a good one. And we did have a guest yesterday that made the argument that this was just to put something out there to make it look like they were doing something. And
I have my thoughts about the merits of the bill. First of all, I think the only answer to school shooting is security in the schools. Cops and metal detectors. And they do have $7 billion for that, and I think that's good. The idea that we can get our way out of this with mental health programs is absurd, just like it would be absurd to say we can stop airplane hijackings by improving mental health. And if we flag people under 21 for extra scrutiny based on their mental health records, we'll just make sure that no kid that's nuts is going to ever go to a shrink because he's not going to want to get turned in and not be able to get a gun. It is only through school security that we can do this. And the fantasy that background checks will help is absurd. In 2 of the last mass shootings, background checks flagged the shooter and he got a gun anyway. I think that the only answer here is school security, hardening the targets, like we did with planes. And I think that anything else is just a political excuse to do what they wanted to do anyway, gun control.
All right, Dick Morris, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.